Labor Day Monday Night Football closes out Week 1 as number 22 SMU travels to Tallahassee to take on 1-0 Florida State in the ACC opener for both teams. The Mustangs are coming off a strong 9-4 season capped by a Holiday Bowl victory over Arizona, and tonight marks their season opener. Senior right tackle P.J. Williams, a preseason second-team All-ACC selection, will be a key piece up front as SMU gets its 2026 campaign underway. Florida State already has a game under its belt, defeating New Mexico State 24-6 in Week 0. The Seminoles got the win, but the performance didn't exactly turn heads nationally, with FSU managing just 271 yards of total offense. Senior running back Quintrevion Wisner was a bright spot, rushing for 124 yards and a touchdown on 23 carries. Now Florida State faces a much bigger challenge against a ranked SMU squad. A 40% chance of rain and a steamy 96 degrees await in Tallahassee as Labor Day comes to a close. One last game, one last chance to make a Week 1 statement. SMU and Florida State are ready for Monday night coming up next.
Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida. ACC play gets started here as both of these teams start what they hope will be a chase for a conference championship. It's the SMU Mustangs and the Florida State Seminoles. Along with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Holly Rowe.
There is a lot to prove in Tallahassee this season. Coach Mike Norvell has answers after a disappointing 5-7 season. They got the upset in Week 1 against Alabama, but it was not a strong season after that. Fans in Doak Campbell want to see if they can get back on track and become one of the powerhouses they once were in Tallahassee. Guys?
Thanks, Holly. Looking forward to see how this one goes. So SMU's kicker headed to the football to start this 2026 season. On the run from inside his own 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. So the Florida State Seminoles offense will dial up the first ball plays in this one. Hopefully we'll see a performance today like the one that this guy had last week when basically he just ran wild through the defense.
He made that defense look silly. Out in the open field, he was making people miss, breaking tackles, scoring touchdown after touchdown. And this offense has vowed to find new ways to get him the football. So we're going to see something else that we haven't seen before because of this guy's unique talent in this one.
Yeah, snags it and there's running room. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. Tells the run, wants to pass. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
And all defenses talk about it. Sacks, tackles for a loss, affecting the quarterback the best way you can. The first drive of the game, already getting home. Nice start for this defense.
The Seminoles now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Motion from the wideout. Moving the pocket, it's Daniels. Tight end finds a soft spot. Turning it on! Major gaps in that defense, and he got loose, and they finally knock him down at the 41. And the Noles are flying down the field. Fresh set of downs going up top. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious. They'll need a bunch on second down. Quick give. Gain of 8 is now 3rd and 2. They're looking at a 3rd down and short from the 33. Churns into the pile. He's not even going to make it back to the line of scrimmage as the defense gets big-time penetration. Needs it here on 4th down. And it's incomplete way downfield, and the defense rises to the occasion.
And listen, I have no problem being aggressive on 4th down, but the consequences are that now you got to have your defense go bail you out. So you started the game trying to be aggressive. Well, defense, you got to get my back now.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. In traffic, it's Hale. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st down. Fresh center down's going to the air. Makes the grab. It's Knight. This conference has a history of getting wacky, and the last thing you need to do is get off to a slow start in ACC play.
And what does everybody talk about every year, right? Like conference games, how much they matter, the familiarity with everybody around you. You can only start this one time, so let's bring that energy, bring that momentum. Who wants to start the season off right?
Well, the ACC is a conference that feels like oftentimes it just goes down to the wire. And those games late in the season are the ones that really determine what happens. But you got to set yourself up for success, and it starts right here in the first conference game in the ACC for your team.
Sells the fake. Turns it upfield. He's down right there. Short gain on the grab. 3rd and short from the 28. Let's see if this is 4-down territory or if they just pick up the first here. He's stopped, but he's got enough to move the chain. And the Mustangs with the 1st and 10. Caught in the backfield, it's Hale. Can't get him to the ground. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work. They'll run it. They get him down, but he was driving his way and gets it down to the 7-yard line. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Left side is Smith. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a 1st down without scoring. 3rd down. He's stopped, but he's got enough to move the chain. After that run, picked up the 1st down, but there is an injured player on the field. These fans trying to be like a 12th man on defense and help them get a stop. With the run on 1st and goal. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. They're on the board first here in the season opener.
And what a push up front by this offensive line. Everyone playing in unison, driving out of their stance, working into the 2nd level, hats on hats, creating a lane for that running back.
Getting ready for the extra point after the 1st score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. They put together a 65-yard drive for the score and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He gets across the 20 and out to the 21-yard line before he's stopped right there. The Seminoles offense comes out ready to get this drive started. That 4th down gamble didn't pay off on the last drive, and it led to giving up a scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and everybody wants to go for it on 4th down. Everybody wants that, but your defense sometimes has to bail out your decision-making. We decided to go for it. We didn't get it. And the defense, Jesse, didn't come up big and prove me right.
Yeah, not complimentary football, no doubt. But look, this offense has been in these situations before, so you got to come back out here, take the field. It's a fresh set of downs, brand new drive. Let's go out and execute, put some points on the board.
Back to throw, it's Daniels. Fires to the wideout. Complete to the right. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling there out to the 35. Wide receiver going in motion. Trying to establish the run. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Selling the fake. Finds his man. It's Wiles. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Makes the grab. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41. That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Wants to throw on 1st. Oh, pressure's coming. Unleashes one. Nice play by the defense to jar that one loose. 2nd and long here. The lone back's got it. Oh, he's got some space. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's 1st down. To throw, it's Daniels. He is sacked way behind the line of scrimmage. Just a catastrophic play there.
And those outside linebackers nowadays, they're so fast. They got to cover ground. You can blitz them off the edge, and they can get after quarterbacks. Versatile. That's why they're getting drafted so high in the NFL and getting paid all that money.
After the sack, they have their work cut out for them. Basically, they have to get it to the other side of town. Pulls it and fires to the left. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And they've converted their first 2 3rd down opportunities, but a 3rd and long is a different animal. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. He's got it! Touchdown, Florida State! A great catch and run for 6. And these guys just score from anywhere out there. After that drive, it sure looks that way.
And that's what separates really good offenses from great offenses. When you're backed up in a bad position and you can still fight your way out and they'll get you a touchdown, that's a great drive by the offense.
Looking for the tie with the extra point. And right down the middle. And that extra point was good, and we're all tied up here in the second. And he's going to try to return this one. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. SMU's offense headed out onto the field to start this drive. They had to stand by and watch that scoring march, and now it's up to them to find a way to answer it. Caught in the backfield, it's Knight. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. Quick give, it's Green. Navigates that mass of bodies and gets 4 out to the 17.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
They're bringing the chop. They're bringing the noise on 3rd down at the dope. Sets his feet. It's Jennings. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
And I love playing man coverage on the back end, getting those receivers' faces. Don't let them feel comfortable and run zone where they can find all these holes in the zone, and my rush can't get home. Pressure them, pressure them, pressure them.
The Mustangs send out the punt unit. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. So from his own end zone, the punt is away. He'll call for the fair catch here. Florida State comes out ready to put something together on this drive. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. And they've got it at the receiver position, so if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
They've got the ball at midfield, but they're facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Look out! Perfect timing on the hit to keep him from making the grab, and the defense forces a 4th down. And the Seminoles will punt this one away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. The punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15. Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. Straight ahead, it's Green. Good surge up front, giving 4 out to the 18. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Out wide left, it's Hale. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Out wide right, it's Hale. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. Play action on 1st down. Put it where only his man could get it and gave him enough room to get the foot down. And the Mustangs have their offense in high gear. Follows his blocks. It's Green. And without that spin move, I'm not sure he would have gone very far at all, but a solid pickup on the play. Might as well run him again. He tried to find some running room, but they get him stopped. Ball's at the 47. They're looking at a 3rd down and short. Burrowing for yardage. Stopped in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of 2. The Mustangs will call on their punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And that is an excellent punt as it lands out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. All right, guys, here comes the Florida State offense onto the field. They'll run it on the counter. Hit and dropped, and he got nothing on 1st down. Long way to go on 2nd down. To the air, it's Daniels. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. They'll flip it out to the back on the screen. He gets it past the 1st down marker, and a really nice job to set up that screen and move the sticks. Grabbed behind the line, it's Riles. Could not make his way to the corner. And after that last completion netted a big fat 0, they're looking at 2nd and 10. We'll take a quick break as we have reached the final 2 minutes of the first half. A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on 2nd down. Pulls it on the option. Gain of 2 on the play, sets up 3rd and 8. The Mustangs call a timeout. It'll be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Left side, it's Riles. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the 1st. SMU spends his 2nd timeout here. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this first half. They boot it away on 4th down. Not a lot of room to make this catch. Coverage unit all over him, stopped immediately. Motion from the wide receiver. Snap on 1st down, wants to throw. Turns up, it's Hale. And he is going to be forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. Tremendous defense there. 2nd down, going to throw it. Unloads to the wideout. It's caught. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. Dropping back, it's Jennings. Keeping his eyes downfield. He hits the slide, and he's got enough to convert that third down. Offense rushing to the line of scrimmage. Clock is stopped for the first down. They'll try to get it off quickly.
Now, on the third play of the drive, third down, it's the scrambling ability of this quarterback that goes and picks up the first down. He was so calm back there. He never got flustered. Nobody open, no problem. If you give this guy 1 yard to run, he's going to tuck it and take off, and that's exactly what happened there.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Got him downfield. They'll move the chains. Good execution on third down. They've got it at the 41. Now the Mustangs will use their third and final timeout. Drops back on first down. And they won't be able to stop the clock again for the remainder of this half. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. He'll get rid of it. Right side, it's Hale. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. First and goal from the 8. And he tries to spike it to save a second. He didn't have time to do it, and we'll go to the half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Gentlemen, so much excitement around a brand new season, and we're excited to get you caught up on everything here in Week 1. Let's start with the Missouri State Bears, taking on the number 8 team, the Texas A&M Aggies. And it's the Bears, sneaking out of here with an upset victory. But have to see how the rankings shake up following this outcome. And that's now victory number 1 on the season. Hey, every journey begins with a first step, and this team will bask in the glory of this one for at least 24 hours. Here now, some other games you may have interest in, and social media has some sharp opinions about the state of things right now. Now over to your game at Doak Campbell Stadium. And talk about a good, competitive game so far. Not saying this has been the best first half we've seen in the history of these two programs, but they've matched each other's intensity, and the result has been, well, a good, competitive game so far. They don't call me the most creative man in broadcasting for nothing, you know. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Doak Campbell Stadium.
The Seminoles will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. Returner will field it and try to get some field position. He'll be stopped short of the 20-yard line on the return. They'll mark him at the 19. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. Going to the run to start this second half. Nifty run there. Pickup of 6 out to the 25. Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. Give to the back. Breaks into the open. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The give on the counter.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Got him right there. They're bringing the chop. They're bringing the noise on third down at the Doak. Scanning the field, it's Jennings. Throws for the tight end. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. And the Mustangs will snap it on 1st and 10. Sells the run, looking to pass. He makes a catch. Brought down at the 25-yard line. Give him 15 yards on the pickup, and this offense is threatening. Fresh set of downs going up top. fires to the big fella. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. They'll run it in the red zone. It's Green. Stopped right there. A field goal here would put them on top, but a touchdown's what you want in a game like this. Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on third. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down. They'll try to put 3 on the board as the field goal unit comes on. This whole play is going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. Splits the uprights right down the middle. And with that field goal, they now have the lead. He'll bring it out. It's Singleton. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Okay, guys, the Florida State offense returns to the field. They're still looking for a little more productivity as they trail 10-7. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. Out wide left, it's Robinson. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. Back to pass, it's Daniels. And the defense getting a hand in there on third down. The Seminoles will bring the punt team onto the field. He'll try to really get into this one. He gets a block. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Buys a little time. They've got him corralled. They'll need a bunch on second down. Caught behind the line. It's Hale. Makes the catch, but goes no further, and it'll be a short pickup on that one. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Got his man. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. Boy, if they don't convert this fourth down, there will be questions to be answered. Snapped it, and he has to have it. Still looking. Trying to make magic with his feet. He got enough. Slides and moves the sticks on 4th and short. It's 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6. That's up 2nd and 4. The Mustangs with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. There he goes. And he's tackled, brought down at the 19. They're into the red zone with another first down. And the Mustangs have pushed it inside the 20. They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Out wide right, it's Smith. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. What powerful running, just driving the pile forward for everything he could get. He'll be just a few inches short. Drives inside. He gives him a fresh set of downs, and this one will be 1st and goal from the 6. This offense in scoring position with a fresh set of downs. They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, SMU!
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. They marched 58 yards for the touchdown on that one, and he got into the house from the 6 to finish it. On the return, it's Carter. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess, a lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. Able to haul it in, and right to the ground he goes, only a pickup of a couple. So the final period starts with a second down play. That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. We take a moment to look at the stats of what has been a tight ball game. Our final quarter is on deck, and it looks as if they are ready to go. And now on second down for this offense. Got him quickly. Turning it on. They pull him down, but he's got enough, and it'll be a first down for this offense. Pass completion, move the sticks in, and let's see if they try it again. Dropping back, it's Daniels. Under pressure. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Second and long here. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. They make the stop, not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. On third down, he drops to throw. Big hit, knocks the ball away, and it'll force them into a fourth down. The Noles line up to punt it away. Fourth time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Gonna field this one in tight quarters. No room to bring it back. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. So working with a lead here, they'd like to put together a long, time-consuming drive and put this thing away. Makes the catch. It's Knight. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38.
I'll be honest, man. If I had the weapons these guys had offensively, I'd be staying aggressive too. It's what got them to this point. It's why they have the lead here in the fourth quarter. Take some shots when those opportunities present themselves.
Great job to separate the ball from the receiver there. Long way to go on second down. Out of the gun, the running back has it. And after that run, there is a player still down on the field. That is the senior offensive lineman who's shaken up. Holly Rowe will check on his condition. These fans stepping up to help this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Unleashes it on the run. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. Punt is on its way. And the ball will bounce at the 4 and find its way into the end zone for a touchback. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. They get the ball back after the punt, and they've got to be efficient here as time is winding down. 9-yard pickup on the play. It's now 2nd and 1. And that last completion left them with 2nd and 1. And this is a fun moment for an offensive coordinator. Left side, it's Robinson. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Ball spotted at the 29. Here they come on 3rd and short. On the option. All over him in the backfield. He'll lose 3 on the play. And the Seminoles will send out the punt unit. And leg is staying loose. Already the 5th kick of the night. He'll try to make the catch in traffic. He got nothing on the return. Outstanding job there. It's dropped after taking the hit. A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Barrels all the way to the 29, a gain of 6. They'll try to muscle their way forward on 3rd and short from the 29. Out wide left, it's Smith. And he was off to the races, finally tripped up at the 36. He just keeps piling up numbers with completion after completion in this standout performance.
And I think some people might say late in the game, you got the win, everything's in hand, be a little bit conservative, or you just say, I'm just going to keep doing me. And what I do with this offense is throw the football all over the yard, and I'm going to try to win me a big trophy at the end of the year.
Makes the grab, down immediately, he picks up a few. They'll need a bunch on second down. Grab behind the line, it's Smith. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain. They're bringing the chop, they're bringing the noise on third down at the dope. From the gun, running back gets to give. They've got enough for the first down, and they're in the red zone at the 20. Really nice job to move the ball on the ground like that in the big game, but we will need to check on an injured player. The Mustangs back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs!
And I just love what I'm seeing from this team. Like, going on the road, game one, where you're still figuring out who you are and what you do well. Another scoring drive by this offense. Looks like they're going to get the dub in a hostile environment to start the season.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And that extra point is a big one as they now have a 3-possession, 17-point lead in the fourth. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. After 3 consecutive punts, we'll see if they can dial up something that can get this offense moving forward. Knocked down behind the line. Boy, he powered through one tackler, but there were more there to greet him. Looking for a man. It's Daniels. He wants to go deep. Goes high to pull it in. Just what they needed. Huge explosive play as he takes it to the 33.
And that's perfect for this offense. Backed up towards your own end zone, make a play to create space, get some momentum going on this drive. Just what the offense needed to start this thing.
The Seminoles want to move quickly. From the gun, it's Chroma. Trying to pound their way forward. He picks up a couple to the 31. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. They'll try it on the ground, running the counter. They'll get him on the ground after a pickup of 3 to the 28. They'll snap it from the 28 in field goal range, but it's 3rd and short. Rush is on. Pressure's there, and he gets rid of it. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play. Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. Here comes the heat. Can't make the catch, and the defense will force the turnover on downs. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. He picks up maybe a couple before he stopped right at the 30-yard line. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Kept the last one on the ground. Now they'll throw. Finds his big tight end. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. Sends it back in motion. Throws to the wideout. Left side, it's Knight. Nice gain on that play, but a little it short of the first down. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They make the tackle, but not before he picks up the first down. And the Mustangs come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. He'll be brought down quickly after a very short game. With the clock running, this should be the final play. We waited so long to start the season, and just the way you want to start, getting that first victory.
And the first games are so much fun. You've been practicing against each other over and over all through camp. Now you get to come out, start the season off 1-0, Jesse. Great start.
It was a great start for the winning team. Now, for the losing team, obviously not the way you want to get into this season. There were some mistakes with execution, and guys are going to have to do a better job individually. But that's why you play the games. You get to now go back to the drawing board, get back on the practice field, try and iron out these wrinkles. It's a long season ahead. A lot to play for.
This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis, saying goodbye, everybody.
So Florida State's kind of lackluster Week 0 win over New Mexico State proves to be a little telling, as the Seminoles just can't compete with the top-tier competition just yet, as they lose 24-7 at home to the 22nd-ranked SMU Mustangs, thanks to a pretty good effort by SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings. Taking a look at the team stats, SMU kind of dominated statistically. They had the edge in first downs, 24-9, 418 to 212 in total offense. Rushing yardage had the edge, 168 to only 3 yards for Florida State. Florida State needs to figure out the rushing game. Passing yards, SMU had the edge 250 to 209. Third down conversion percentage, SMU had the edge 64% to 36%. Neither team had a turnover, and time of possession battle was dominated by SMU by about 11 and a half minutes. Looking at the player stats for Florida State, Ashton Daniels finishes 18 of 29 for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. SMU's Kevin Jennings finishes 27 of 32 for 250 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but Jennings was also very effective on the ground, as we'll see here. Leading rusher is actually Kendrick Raphael, 9 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. Drameco Green had the rushing touchdowns, 13 carries for 41 yards, 2 touchdowns for him, but you can see Kevin Jennings had 41 yards on 7 carries, so decent all-around day for him. Florida State was led by Quintrevion Wisner, not nearly as good a day this week as he had in Week 0. Today he's only 10 carries for 25 yards, no touchdowns. Florida State just couldn't run the ball. Florida State leading receiver, we'll give it to Deuce Robinson, 4 catches, 4 catches for 71 yards. Quintrevion Wisner did have that long 44-yard touchdown reception, though, so that was nice for him. For SMU, they were led by Jalen Hale, 8 catches for 74 yards for him. Leading blocker for SMU was Yannick Smith with 5 pancakes. For Florida State, it was a 3-way tie with 5 pancakes each between Jaden Todd, Xavier Chaplin, and Andre Otto. Defensive leaders for the Seminoles, they were led in total tackles. There was a tie between Jamari Howard and Ashlyn Barker. Each had 11. Tackles for loss, it was a tie between Charles Lester III and Ashlyn Barker. Each had 2. Sacks, it was a tie between Mandrell Desur and Franklin Whitley. Each had a half a sack, and no interceptions for the Seminoles. For SMU, no interceptions. Sacks, William Spencer had 1 sack to lead the team. Jamal Anderson led the team in tackles for loss with 3, and Jimmy Wyrick led the team in total tackles with 8. Kicking stats for SMU, Nick Reed made his only field goal attempt from 37 yards out, and he was also 3 of 3 on extra point attempts. For Florida State, no field goal attempts, but Brandon Garner did make his only extra point attempt of the day. Punting for Florida State, Daniel Hughes had 5 punts for an average of 48.8 yards per punt, and SMU's Wade McSparron had 3 punts for an average of 48 yards per punt. Kick returns for SMU, Jalen Hale had 1 return for 19 yards, and Derek McFall had 1 return for 16 yards. Florida State Samuel Singleton Jr. had 3 returns for an average of 21.6 yards per return, and Devin Carter had 2 returns for an average of 16.5 yards per return. Punt returns, there were none for Florida State. And for SMU, Jalen Hale had 4 returns for an average of 3 yards per return. Scoring summary. In the first quarter, SMU got on the board first with a 3-yard touchdown run from Dremeco Green. It was 7-0 Mustangs after 1. Second quarter, Florida State ties it up with that 44-yard touchdown pass from Ashton Daniels to Quintrevion Wisner. It was 7-7 at halftime. But in the second half, SMU starts to pull away. They get a 37-yard field goal from Nick Reed in the third quarter, followed by a 6-yard touchdown run from Dremeco Green, his second of the day. That made it 17-7 SMU going into the fourth quarter. And in the fourth quarter, the Mustangs add a 15-yard touchdown run from Kendrick Raphael, and that gives you your final score of number 22, SMU 24, Florida State 7. So SMU goes on the road in their season and conference opener and gets a big win against the Seminoles, who prove that they're not quite ready for primetime just yet. Florida State falls to 1-1, 0-1 in conference. SMU is 1-0 in both overall and in conference. Headline from the game says, Road Warriors. The Mustangs moved to 1-0 in ACC conference play after a win over Florida State. Highlighted players were Tyron Polley Jr. for SMU and Jamari Howard for Florida State. SMU led in everything statistically, and that is why they got the win. So I thought the last game was the last game of week 1, but this actually is the last game of week 1. So now we've completed all games, and next up will be our week 1 review and week 2 preview. Let's see some of the scores there as we are all the way through finally for real this time with week 1. But from Tallahassee, Florida, the 22nd ranked SMU Mustangs get the road victory over the Florida State Seminoles 24-7, and we will see you next time.